throw things around.
I need crew to move back, please, while I release him out.
Okay.
Please. Can you move all the way back? He's trying to take over my body. Just move all the way. I said move back!
The following program has been filmed for your entertainment. However, viewers may find some scenes disturbing. The old St. Bernard's Hospital. The site was once a military barracks. It then became a military hospital and then a civilian hospital. The site is now abandoned, derelict, decrepit, crumbling away. Some of the workers on this site have told us that they still hear voices, that some of the former patients still walk the corridors. This week on the Ghost Trail, we're going to try and find out who they are.
Hello, my name is Michael Scott, and I'm the skeptic.
I don't like the idea that although people have a personal experience that can change their life, I think that you have to sort of examine it a little bit further than that, rather than just your own personal experience. So I'd hope that, if anything, if I had a personal experience on this, it would be to open the doors to more investigation, rather than just like, okay, now I believe in ghosts.
My name is Kieran Possum. I'm a believer and a member of the Gibraltar Paranormal Society. Well, fear of the unknown is something that we all experience at some stage. But yes, I mean, we have Hollywood as well to blame, where we see all these films of, Exorcist and other type of films which are similar, and we associate at a subconscious level this subject with, those films, and obviously they're not true.
People want answers. They want answers to these traditional questions that have been at the root of civilizations for many, many centuries. What is there after death? What's on the other side? And this exercise is probably one of the most curious and unusual pieces of investigative journalism I've ever done.
Well, it's a site of a hospital for at least 400 years, because in Spanish times there was a kind of hospital there. There was a Sir Juan Mateos was a local inhabitant at the time, and he gave the land to be used as a hospital for mariners, for seamen. And eventually it was taken over by the order of San Juan de Dios, St. John of God, and it became a hospital. So the history of the site as a hospital goes back for quite some time. During the 18th century, the Royal Navy took it over as a Royal Naval Hospital until about 1746. And then they moved to the Naval Hospital, what we now call the Old Naval Hospital with the quadrangle. So it was a naval hospital until 1746. Then after that, the army took it over as barracks. And quite curiously, it seems that they painted the barracks blue, so it was known actually as the Blue Barracks for a while. Then they moved out, and probably one of the most benevolent governors the Gibraltar had, George Don, in 1815 decided that it was time for the civilian population to have a hospital. So he gave the premises of the barracks to the civilian community for a hospital.
My name is Kevin Sercombe, and I was a charge nurse at the Old St. Bernard's Hospital on nights. During this time, we shared many paranormal experiences. For example, I remember one night that we were three of us in an office and the phone suddenly starts ringing. We all looked at each other in amazement because that telephone was actually not connected to the jack. Although we answered the phone, there was nobody on the other side. My role was to walk around the hospital and check on all clinical areas, nursing staff and patients.
Is the old maternity ward, particularly the bottom floor. There were two floors, and the bottom floor is the one that most people say that they didn't like to be put there because it felt very sinister, it was cold, you know.
So really the site has been a hospital for the better part of 400 years, managed in different ways by an order, a Catholic order, then briefly by the Royal Navy, then as a barracks, and then more recently as a civilian hospital until almost yesterday.
One particular major incident happened in the ward just above us here, in the toilet sluice area, where moans and groans were being heard. So we decided to phone the night sister who was in charge of the hospital at the time. When she came, she thought it was a prank, and she was actually looking for a tape recorder that might have been hidden there. She soon identified that the noises were genuine, and no patient was accountable for his moans and groans. She decided to phone the actual late Bishop Caruana, who actually came up. I remember him carrying out certain prayers, and during this ritual the toilet started bubbling, creating a large noise. It looked like a jacuzzi basically. And then it all settled down and these groans and moans disappeared.
And in the case of the hospital, there you have it. Before a hospital, before a barracks, it was a monastery. The British took over Gibraltar, it became a hospital. A barracks for the military, because the invaders ransacked the place. They took over churches, and they took, they converted them to stables, into storerooms, into barracks. It was sacrilege, for them. The Protestants didn't take the Catholics. So anything that smacked of Catholicism, they would sort of, get rid of it. All the statues were dumped and things like that. But yes, the area where the hospital is has quite a history.
Samantha Donbevand says she can speak to those who have left our mortal realm. However, she has never been to Gibraltar before, she doesn't know where we're taking her, and she hasn't done any prior research.
I trained as a holistic health practitioner 15 years ago, always been very, very intrigued naturally in the mind, body and spirit connection. In 2004 I was subject to a Section 1820 assault and left with a disability with no cure. So I had to give up my practice, and that kind of pivoted me to want to train and reduce the pain. I also mentioned that during that near-death experience I did go out of body and actually saw my own body, so that amplified my spiritual gifts in such a way which can happen to some people. I then trained in hypnotherapy and it reduced my pain level, and there was hope, there was inspiration for me, because this pain condition, there's no cure and you are in chronic pain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so it did dramatically improve my life. And then I experienced regression therapy, and that was it. That was kind of the key, really, to everything. And I was then pain-free, and my condition went in remission. And then I thought, wow, this is amazing. It works much quicker than counselling, psychology, everything like that. And yeah, my life changed dramatically, and that started my journey.
Everything you see in this part of the program actually happened.
There's lots and lots of children. There's childlike energy, and I'm having to instantly let them know not to fear anything. Okay. Intuitively guided to go up and to the right. There's something going on here, but I'll go to that in a moment. sense of euthanasia type of thing is what I'm getting coming through. Sense of a quick way out for some of these souls. Very much a quick way out. Overwhelming sense of sorrow for these children. I just don't like it. It's the children, it's the children, it's what I'm getting, it's the children. It's just loads of children. It's just loads of children. Excuse me a minute, loads of children. Ow. But at this moment in time, this lady is just kind of, she's raw, she's not really nice, but she's passed over to the other side, which is why it's really evoking such an emotion in me. And this, the twins, it's twin boys, it's just, I need to just, I don't you want to film it, it's irrelevant to me, but I just need to speak to her, give her the peace and just tell her that I'm not going to bother anymore, thank her for the information right now. Just this sense of loss and lots of children, there's nothing they can do.
So you want some time to yourself?
The children crying. Shocks and bangs and that type of feeling with war zone.
Do you need some help?
No, it's energy. It's just as if he can't walk. That's what he's telling us. Cannot walk. I cannot walk is what he also wants to know why you've come here. There's something quite significant about not being able to look outside. Dead, look, slabs of dead people, just bodies left, just bodies left. That they're just not aware that they've died. So I've got no grief that I'm channeling. You know, they're not aware that they're dead. And I just do what I need to do. I just leave a minute. This is just oh, yeah. I just need to create photos and just take the ones that I need to take.
Just away?
Just for a moment, please, yeah. It's the least I can do at the moment. Anyways, I felt anything like it in one space. In all the years of doing this, I've never felt anything like it in my whole. Main thing is the children right now. That's my priority, is to take them up with love. But would it be right? I mean, what I'm getting is there's not a lot of these. I'm being nicely passed over. It's a bit like when I'm doing the mediumship work. And I recently did a lady whose best friend had died and she committed suicide and had 3 children, and I channeled her 10 days after, and it was just like that.
5 minutes, if that's okay. With John, where are you? There you are. Because it's just a wee bit raw, this one for me. I understand the mix of different types of energy, but it's the children that's really great. It's killing me.
It wouldn't surprise you.
Let me just
Sure.
get rid of the energy. That's just
Need to put protection around your wall, please, and I'm going to take. I'm just not in it. It's too demonic. It's too angry. His energy is too strong for me at this moment. While I've just been with the childlike energy.
Let's go outside.
I just need to create an energy vortex now and take the children up. He's not going to go anywhere. He's going to stay here. I can't take him up against self-free will, but the children I can. So I'm just going to ask him to leave and not harm anyone. Take the children down and then I'm going to need a minute.
Okay, Samantha, it will probably not come as a surprise to you that we're standing in an old hospital.
okay. And what I intuitively felt as driving up here was these sorts of children. The gentler energy that I felt intuitively, but yeah.
So
Makes sense.
as you approached the end of that corridor around the corner where you were saying that you felt all those children, all those babies, crying mothers giving birth,
Yeah.
again, it will probably not surprise you that that is the old maternity ward. And that obviously it has been for many, many years. Many children would have been born here. We were all born there.
Right. And that's what I was picking up with the childbirth and
You might have picked up a lot of the negative energy from all the perhaps children that have been born in stillbirths or mothers that may not have been able to give birth properly.
just stuck, yeah, just not so much negative energy, it's more gentle, misunderstood energy, if that makes any sense.
Pain,
in comparison to
sadness.
Yeah, because there was a lot of women who died giving birth around this period. That's what I got very, very strongly. So there's a sense of, we'd not realised it, it's the death of the twins, lots and lots of babies, and just unnecessary death. That's what I intuitively felt. It's very, very sad. And the horror and the raw emotion of this lady who still thought she was alive to a certain extent. She lost her children. I could feel that emotion. when I came further down the corridor, what I felt was that I had a heaviness on the left-hand side, so it was like a soldier type, military type pain, shotgun, that type of thing. But that was a stronger energy drive.
Right. This hospital has several parts to it. That door that we crossed over into the older part of the hospital. This was a military hospital at one point.
That's why I felt the shift of energy, yes. Okay, makes sense.
Before that it was a military barracks. You've learned a bit about the history of this place. So, I mean, does that connect with...
It makes sense to what the difference to coming into the corridor, to me feeling all the children as we initially came in. I mean, intuitively needing to wear brighter colours not to fear the children, the souls that I've got to take up. But as I crossed whatever boundary it was, there was a distinct shift of energy and a lot of angry men, one of which, as you saw, was trying to channel within me, but wasn't making an awful lot of sense.
And again, that lower area that we went to where you were very, very uncomfortable is notorious by the nursing staff.
Okay.
For being an area where they all feel very uncomfortable.
I just got, it was as if there was just piles of bodies down there. That's what I intuitively got.
Ward.
Okay.
And that area is notorious for uncomfortable feelings and all sorts of unexpected.
I have to say, I'm not a medium and I felt a little bit uncomfortable, especially in that room that has no natural lighting and it's shaped like a vault, where no one seems to know what that is.
I just got slabs of death. I just got death. Whereas if the, thank you.
But that part of the building may predate the modern civilian hospital.
It was just bodies. It was just a convenient, that's what I kind of get that shift, where it was just bodies just put there. We didn't know what else to do really. That makes sense.
Neither did we.
No.
At the moment where the intellectual part of you clashes with the part of you that feels emotion and
yeah, sort of that's a good way of describing it. Sort of like I'm trying to rationalise certain things, and basically at the stage I'm at is like I just don't know really. Like,
you can write things off as unexplained.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically my position. Yeah.
To actually go around that corner to where the maternity ward is, and there's no plaque or there's no sign that there's a maternity ward, and to be picking up that was an area of childbirth. You know, that in itself, you know, there is some remarkable sense there. Again, I mean, if we can microanalyze everything, but to be honest with you, I mean, just that in itself, you know, it's a good start, because I mean, that could have been the operating theatres, or that could have been the geriatric ward, or that could have been, you know, a number of things. But she picked up, so that in itself was pretty good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next week on Ghost Trail, we take a drive up the Great North Road and find out what happened during the Second World War inside the rock.